Okay, so still working on 3B. This is the second video of 3B, and we're going to look at finding the nth term in the sequence. So you're probably going to want a calculator for this one when we get there. All right, so you can find any term that you need. All that you need to know is the common difference or ratio, and then the first term, which is A1. So I'm looking that I think I lost the rest of my formula again. But you need to know the first term, which is A1, and the common difference or ratio, which is either the D or the R, depending on which one you're doing. So these are the formulas that we use, and you may remember that when we did this in class, we actually had you discover the formulas, because it really does make sense. So what we want to do is start with the first term. And we just need to remember that we don't always necessarily start at 0. But if you figure out what the difference is between each term and multiply it by 1 less than what you're looking for, because you already know the first term. So if you wanted the 30th term, then you only need 29 more. So that's why we do n minus 1. Multiply that to what the pattern is, and then add it back to the first number. And then when we do geometric, it's the same idea, except it involves multiplication. All right, so for our example, number 20, find the requested term for each sequence. So first thing we have to figure out is what is the pattern. And if we do 7 minus 3, we figure out that D equals 4. So if we want the 40th term, then we're going to take the first term, which is 3, and we're going to add 4, but since we want the 40th term, we only need to add 4 39 more times, because we already know the first one, so we need 39 more terms. So to solve this, we need to do 4 times 39, and then add that to 3. So 4 times 39 should be 156. Plus the 3 where we started, so the 40th term is 159. All right, number 21 is a word problem. Theater has 20 seats in the first row, 22 in the second, 22 in the second, 24th and third, and so on. I might have messed that up. So how many are in the 13th? So we want to find the 13th row. So what we're going to do is take the first row, which has 20, and it appears as if the D is 2. So each row we're going to add 2 more seats. But we already know how many are in the first row, so to get to the 13th we need 12 more rows. So to solve this, we need to multiply 2 times 12, which is 24, and then add it back to the original, so the 13th row has 44 seats. Okay, moving on to number 22. This time I can see that the difference there is 6, but the difference there is 12. So this must be a multiplying and dividing one. And if we do 12 over 6, we find that the pattern is that we're multiplying by 2. So to get A7, we're going to take the first term, which is 6, and then we're going to multiply by 2. But since I want the 7th term and I know the first term already, I only need 6 more terms. So this is where you're probably going to want your calculator. So we need to do 2 to the 6th power, and you might actually already know that, but that one is 64. And then we need to multiply that by 6 to get the final answer. So that would be 36, and so 384 should be the 7th term in that sequence. All right, you're heating up your hot tub by 8% per hour. If the temperature is 75, what is the temperature after 4 hours? All right, so we want to find the 4th term in this one. All right, so it's 75 degrees. That's our first temperature. And we're multiplying. Now, we want to increase our hot tub by 8%, which means we want 108 of the temperature. So we use 1.08, and you probably remember this from when we talked about it in class. If we want to write 8% as a decimal, that would be 0.08. But we don't want to just increase it 8%. We want all of the temperature that we had plus 8%. So we actually want 108% of the previous temperature. And then after 4 hours, that means we need 3 more hours. So now you're probably definitely going to need to grab a calculator for this one. So I'm going to do 1.08 to the third and get that answer, and then multiply that by 75, and I'm getting that it's going to be about 94.5 degrees after 4 hours. Alright, so that takes care of finding the nth term in both arithmetic and geometric sequences.